Good morning, everybody. Can everybody online hear my voice and see the screen properly? Good morning, everybody online. Can everybody hear my voice and see the screen properly? Okay. So today we are going to take a look at puzzles. We have had a basic introductory session where we saw some of the basic types of puzzles. But one thing is for sure that every puzzle is usually unique, right? You have to look at the information given to you and see what is the best possible method to have solved it. Do I make a diagram? Do I make a grid? What do I do with that? So what I'm going to do is today I'm going to put up the data set on the screen. I'll give you some time to try and solve it, right? And then of course we will see what could be the best possible method to solve it in the fastest possible time, right? So a lot of questions solving is what we are going to do today, starting with the first one. The information is there on the screen. Decide what is the best way to solve it, and then we will take a look at it individually. It says 5 girls, Sulekha, Rita, Netu, Meena and Prisha, have a total of 5 tickets of movie theatres, Panna, Chachi, Munna, PVR and Sham Palace, where movies Gurugram, Kabutar, Hero Number 1, Salam Thoko and Inkar are currently playing. Each girl has 1 movie tickets of one of the 5 theatres. You also have 4 other pieces of information which will help you decide who is watching which movie and in which theatre. Let's see how quickly you are able to solve this one. Are you getting it? Are we done? Did everyone get it? Right? Nice. Chalo, let's see. Basically, you are given 5 girls, 5 theaters, and 5 movies, right? So, and the clues talk about a particular girl having either a particular ticket or a particular theater. So, what we can do is we can create a table like this where I put the names of the girls in the middle. On one side, we have the names of all the theaters, and on the other side, we have the names of all the movies. And based on the information that we get, we can start filling in the blanks. So the very first says that movie Gurugram is running in Panna theater. So Gurugram, it is directly associated with Panna. That means Panna theater has to show the movie Gurugram. And Gurugram is running in Panna theater whose ticket is not with Vrisha and Sulekha. So if Sulekha and Vrisha do not have the ticket for Panna, it also follows that Sulekha and Vrisha will not be watching any movie in Gurugram because Gurugram is showing Panna. Now Meena has a ticket for in-car. So if Meena has a ticket for in-car, that means no other movie ticket is with her and in-car ticket is with no other person. And if Meena has a ticket for in-car, definitely not Gurugram, that means she's not watching it in Panna theater. So even that gets cancelled. Now, the next clue says that Netu has a ticket for Munna theater. So if Netu has a ticket for Munna theater, first we eliminate the entire column, we eliminate the entire row. And if Netu is not watching in Panna theater, then Netu is also not watching the movie Gurugram. So one thing becomes pretty obvious, that the movie Gurugram now is only possible for Rita. So Rita has to be watching the movie in Panna theater. Now, the next clue, Vrisha has a ticket of Shyam theater. So Vrisha has a movie, has the ticket for Shyam theater, eliminate the row and column. And Kabutar is not running there. So if Vrisha is not watching Kabutar, we cancel out that cell. Now in PVR, Salam Thoko is running. So The movie Salam Thoko has to be with PVR. So PVR is showing the movie Salam Thoko. So either Sulekha or Meena is watching that. Now Meena is watching in car, so Meena could not be watching in PVR, which means PVR has to be with Sulekha. And if PVR is Sulekha, then Sulekha is watching the movie Salam Thoko. So now what is left? Now I get that Meena can be the only one watching Chachi. Vrisha can be watching hero number 1. So Netu is now fixed with Kabutar, and we have all the 5. So Sulekha is watching Salam Thoko in PVR. Rita is watching Gurugram in Panna. Netu is watching Kabutar in Munna. Meena is watching Inkar in Chachi. And Vrisha is watching hero number 1 at the Shyam Theatre. We have got all 5. Did everybody understand how we did this one? Pakka. So then based on the entire data, now it's very easy to answer the questions which will be asked. Right? So which of the following is the correct combination of theatre, girl and movie? Right? The last option, PVR, Sulekha and Salam Thoko, you can directly get from the table, option D. Which movie is running in Chachi? So Chachi is Meena and Meena is watching in car. So second option. And who is having the ticket of hero number 1? So that's Vrisha, second option. Easy to solve. Did everybody online get this as well? Okay. Next one. Read the data. It says director of a theatrical play group has to assign different roles to 2 artists, Manjeet and Kuljit, to play in a drama depending on 4 different symbols. So if you say @ it means father, dollar means wife, hash means brother and star means daughter. So if you put the combinations, it means this. If I say Manjeet @ Kuljit, it means Manjeet is the father of Kuljit. Manjeet dollar Kuljit means Manjeet is the wife of Kuljit. Manjeet hash Kuljit is brother of Kuljit, and Manjeet asterisk Kuljit or Manjeet star Kuljit is the daughter of Kuljit. These are the 4 representations. The symbols will show what is the relation between the 2 people, right? You can't do anything. You have to apply this information to the questions. So the very first question says, if it is given that Diljit hash Chiranjeet dollar Baljit, then what does this symbol represent? What does this represent? So when I say hash, it says this is the brother of, and when you say dollar, it means the wife of. So basically Daljit hash Chiranjeet means that Daljit is the brother of Chiranjeet. So Daljit is a male. And Chiranjeet dollar Baljit means Chiranjeet is the wife of Baljit, which means Chiranjeet is a female and Baljit is a male. So then Diljit and Charanjeet are siblings. Charanjeet and Baljit are husband and wife. So that makes Baljit and Diljit the brothers-in-law for each other. So the 4th option, that Daljit is the brother-in-law of Baljit, is what it represents. Easy. Next one. Manjeet star Chiranjeet @ Daljit @ Baljit. Read the question carefully and answer. Are you sure? second or fourth?
Second.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. The data says Manjeet star Chiranjeet. Star is daughter. So Manjeet is the daughter of Chiranjeet. Chiranjeet at the rate Daljit means Chiranjeet is the father of Daljit. So Chiranjeet is a male and the father of Daljit. And Daljit at the rate Baljit. So Daljit is the father of Baljit. So Daljit is also a male. Right. Now you told me that the second one is the answer, that Chiranjeet is the grandfather of Baljit. Is that the answer? Huh? Manjeet and Diljit are siblings, brother and sister. Is that the answer? Or Manjeet is the aunt of Baljit. Is that the answer? If you feel any of these is the answer, then you have not read the question. The question is saying which of the following is not true. It does not ask you which is the correct answer. It says which of the following relations is not true. The very first option, that Manjeet is the mother of Baljit. Manjeet is not the mother of Baljit. Manjeet happens to be the paternal aunt of Baljit. Right? You saw Manjeet, oh, ye to auntie hai, not my answer. But the question never asked you what is right. The question is clearly asking you which of the following options is not true. So the questions are not difficult to solve. But you have to be very, very careful of what exactly are they asking you to solve. In this case, they are asking which of the following is not true. Right? So the answer has to be the first option is not true. You eliminated the first one, it is not true. But they are literally asking you which is the one which is not true. Because B, C and D are all correct. A is not. Moral of the story, read the instructions carefully. Questions are not difficult to solve. But the trick lies in what exactly do you have to solve in this case. Next one. Abhijit # Chiranjeet star Baljit. Which one?
C.
Are you sure? Pakka? Online, yes. So again, Abhijit # Chiranjeet. So Abhijit is the brother of Chiranjeet and Chiranjeet star Baljit. So Chiranjeet is the daughter of Baljit. So here, is Baljit a parent of Abhijit? Yes. Are Abhijit and Chiranjeet siblings? Yes. Is Abhijit the son of Baljit? Yes. Baljit is the mother-in-law of Chiranjeet? No. And again, which of the following is not true? So obviously the fourth one is the one which is not true. Hence D is my answer. Devashri, again the question asks which of the following is not true. A, B and C are all true. The fourth one is not. Right? Did everybody get this? So again, instructions to be read very, very carefully. Chalo, let's move on to the next set of questions. Read it carefully. It's not difficult to solve. 5 states are assigned to 5 different development groups implemented by the central government in each of the states. The National Council of Welfare Programs undertook an effort to study the relative importance to the beneficiaries of these programs. So the program names are given: Rozgar Yojana, Awas Yojana, Midday Meal Program, Health Mission, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, blah blah blah. The level of dissimilarity between 2 states is the maximum difference in the rank allotted by the two states to any 5 programs. So the following table indicates the rank order of the 5 programs in each state. For example, did you understand what it means by level of dissimilarity? Let us say UP and MP mein level of dissimilarity I have to find out. So according to the instructions, the level of dissimilarity is the maximum difference in rank. So UP and MP का dissimilarity कितना है? RY को देखो तो 1 and 2, so difference is 1. HMP को देखो तो 2 and 3, difference is again 1. MDM देखो तो 1 and 3, difference is 2. MNREG 4 and 5, difference is 1. AY 4 and 5, difference is again 1. So maximum difference is between MDM. So the dissimilarity between UP and MP will be calculated as number 2. Similarly, if I ask you what is the dissimilarity between UP and Tamil Nadu? Right, MNREG is at number 4 for UP and at number 1 for MNREG for Tamil Nadu. So 4 minus 1, the difference is 3. बाकी सारे 0, 1 या 2 हैं. So the level of dissimilarity between UP and Tamil Nadu according to the data will be calculated as 3. So understood how to calculate the level of dissimilarity between any two states? Maximum difference of rank कितना है वही देखना है. So first question then, which of the following is least dissimilar to UP? You just need to quickly calculate dissimilarities for each state. UP के साथ कितना है? So tell me, UP and MP, we have already seen. What is the dissimilarity between UP and MP? Huh? MDM and MDM, so dissimilarity is 2. UP and Sikkim के बीच में dissimilarity कितनी है? Right? अगर AY देखूं तो 4. यूपी एंड केरला के बीच में डिसिमिलैरिटी कितनी है? अगेन MNREG बिटवीन 4 and this 4 and 1 difference is 3. यूपी एंड तमिलनाडु के बीच में डिसिमिलैरिटी कितनी है? अगेन MNREG को अगर मैं देखूं मैक्सिमम डिफरेंस पे है, लेवल इज 3. सो द लीस्ट डिसिमिलर ऑफ ऑल हैज टू बी द फर्स्ट वन. सो विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेट्स इज लीस्ट सिमिलर टू यूपी? आंसर इज MP. Most dissimilar to UP? I think now it's pretty obvious. पिछले इसमें हमने calculate किया था. The maximum dissimilarity level was 4. So obviously the state most dissimilar to UP will be Sikkim, number 4. And 3 of the following 4 pair of states have an identical level of dissimilarity, which is the odd one out. Yes, Ranak. Which one? Which one? Come on. Option? Option A. It says 3 of the 4 following pairs of states have an identical level of dissimilarity, and which is the odd one out. If you say Kerala and MP, then Kerala and MP ka M and Reg are literally in the first and last position. So the difference here is 4. MP and Tamil Nadu, again, if we compare M and Reg, first and last position, the difference again is 4. Sikkim and Kerala, if you take a look at it, then Sikkim and Kerala के अंदर extreme differences is only MD and MDM, which is level 3. Level 4 का तो कोई नहीं है. And TN and Sikkim, again if you take a look at it, then AY and AY, first and last position, difference is 4. So then which is the odd one out in this case? Third option. B क्यों आया आपका? What were you looking at? Highest थोड़ी पूछे. Again, the instructions are important. You're not reading the instructions. आप just data को देख के कुछ assume कर लेते हो. It is clearly said 3 of them have identical level of dissimilarity, which is the odd one out. 2 बार आपको instruction में दिया गया है कि 3 identical है, 1 odd one out है, 3 identical, 1 odd one out है. So pay attention to the question. 5 seconds extra, but understand what the question is asking. Answering them is very, very easy. Chalo. Now a very, very interesting set. Let's see how fast you can do it. Mr. M has 5 sons, AX, R and S, and 3 daughters, T, K, J. The 3 sons of Mr. M were born first, followed by 2 daughters. S is the eldest child, J is the youngest. 3 of the children are studying at Tricolor School, 3 are studying at St. Stephen's. T and R study at St. Stephen's. K, the eldest daughter, plays chess. Mansmriti School offers cricket only, while Tricolor School offers chess. Besides these games, these schools offer no other games. The children who are at Mansmriti have been born in succession. X and N are cricketers, while A plays football. R, who was born just before J, plays hockey. Identify the order of all, the gender of all, the school of all, and the sport played by all. Think. Ideal way to represent the data. I'm making any progress. Huh? एक के बाद एक पैदा हुए immediately, one after the other, immediately after one after the other. Okay. Hold. What is important is how you represent the data, because there are so many things to do. Getting it? Okay, what is the one thing which is for sure? I mean, everything, if you talk about the genders, you're talking about a school, you're talking about the sport they're playing, that's all random. But the only thing which is in order is the order in which they were born. Right? It's given that there are 8 of them, and who is the eldest, who's the youngest, and all that data. That means if I try to start arranging them according to the order in which they were born, that gives me some order of, that gives me some sense of order, right? So instead of just putting the names of the 8 people and then trying to match everything, let me make a table where I'm going to talk about, the first thing which I do is I put down the numbers. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 of them were born, and it's given that out of them the 3 sons were born first. So the people at number 1, 2 and 3, they are sons, followed by 2 daughters. So then 2 daughters, total there are 5 sons. So 2 sons and 1 daughter is pending, but I don't know the order. Right? So this much is for sure, that the first 3 are sons, 4th and 5th are daughters. Now, moving ahead, it says that S is the eldest child and J is the youngest. And I also know that J is one of the daughters. So if I know J is one of the daughters, then 3 daughters are pretty much fixed. Right? 4th, 5th and 8th are the daughters. So 6th and 7th by default have to be the sons. Now, it says S is the eldest child, J is the youngest. 3 of the children are studying at Tricolor School. I don't know which 3. And 3 of them are studying at St. Stephen's. Again, I don't know at what positions. Next, it says T and R are at St. Stephen's. So, St. Stephen's, out of 3, I know 2 of them, T and R. But again, I don't know who is who. Next, K, the eldest daughter. Now, this is interesting because now I know that the daughters are number 4, 5 and 8. So, K, the eldest daughter, plays chess. And I also know that K, T and J are the 3 daughters, out of which K and J are already fixed. So, the only other daughter is T. So, T is at number 5, that is also known. Also, T and R study at St. Stephen's. So, now I also know that T at number 5 is studying at St. Stephen's. Now, T and R at St. Stephen's, K, the eldest daughter, plays chess. Mansmriti school offers cricket only. But I don't know who is in Mansmriti, who is playing cricket. Next, Tricolor offers chess, and besides these games, the school offers no other game. So, if you are a chess player, that means that you have to be studying at Tricolor. So, K is studying at Tricolor. Now, the children who are at Mansmriti were born in succession. Now, who is born in Mansmriti? I don't know. But whoever is born in Mansmriti, the 2 of them are immediately born next to each other. Now, X and N are cricketers. Now, if X and N are cricketers, X and N are studying at Mansmriti because Mansmriti is offering cricket. But again, position I don't know. A plays football. So, if A is playing football, A is definitely not in Mansmriti or Tricolor, which means A has to be in St. Stephen's. R, who was just before J. Now, J's position is known. So, R, who was just before J, plays hockey. So, now if R plays hockey, R cannot be studying in Mansmriti or Tricolor, which means R is again at St. Stephen's, and that is also given to us before that T and R are at St. Stephen's. Now, I have to go back to my clues and now try to fit what is possible. Now, one of the clues which I have is that the children who are at Mansmriti have been born in succession, right? And I know that K, T, R, J, may say K, T and R are not Mansmriti. So, it means that either S or 2 of these have to be have to be studying at Mansmriti school. Now, it also says that X and N are playing cricket. So, X and N are the ones at Mansmriti. So, X and N can potentially be these 2 positions with Mansmriti school, which means the only person left is A, and if A is playing football, which is given to me, then A cannot be in Mansmriti or Tricolor, which means A, the footballer, is also from St. Stephen's. So, now what do I have? I have the Mansmriti school, I have got 2 of them, and Mansmriti offers what sport? It offers cricket. So, X and N, the cricketers, are adjusted, and R plays hockey. R at St. Now, what is left? I need one more person who is studying at Mansmriti, and because there are how many people are okay, sorry, 3 of them are at Tricolor and 3 in St. Stephen's. Now, 3 from St. Stephen's is already fixed. एक ही अभी तक Tricolor का मिला है. So, the first and the last, which are the only ones left, have to be studying at Tricolor, which means S has to be studying at Tricolor and J has to be studying at Tricolor. And if you are studying at Tricolor, then it offers chess. So, J is playing chess, S is also playing chess. What does T play? Do I have any information for T? T from St. Stephen's. No, that's it. Right. So, except for the sport that T plays, we pretty much know the details of everybody. Did everybody follow this? Pakka? So then if you got the sequence, I guess answering the questions should not be difficult. So A is which child of Mr. M? Sixth one. S is a student of which school? Pretty obvious, tricolor. What game does T play? Right? That's the only thing which we are not able to determine. No information, so cannot be determined. Understood the set. So which of the following pair was not born in succession? X and N definitely born in succession. K and A, T is between them. So K and A are not born in succession. Succession is immediately after the other. Sure. Try the next one. Are you getting it? Are we done? Okay. Shall we take a look at it then? Shall. It says that there are 4 houses of different colors occupied by a person earning a fixed and distinct amount of salary, right? PKLS. The houses are blue, red, yellow and green, and the salaries also are given 30,000, 50,000, 80,000 and 110,000. So if I take a look at the individual clues, the first one, it says that P lives between S and K. So P can live between S and K either in this order, or P lives between S and K in this order. Second, L does not stay in the blue house. Now I don't know where L stays, but L is not staying in the blue house, and that is for sure. Now the person living in the red house earns more than that of the person living in the blue house, so red salary is greater than blue. So red is not definitely 30 and blue is definitely not 110. Now the salary of S is more than that of P and L, but less than that of K. So I don't know between P and L who has the least one, but I can establish for sure that the highest earner is definitely K. So K's salary is 110 and S's salary is 80. That much is established for sure. Now, one of the person earns 80,000. Fair enough, we already know that. The person earning 110,000 is not L. We also know that. And the salary between L and S is 30,000. Now, between L and S is 80,000. So 30,000 ka difference either makes it 110 or makes it 50. 110 is already K. So if the difference between L and S is 30,000, that means L is the person who is earning 50,000. which also means that P has to be the person who is earning 30,000. And the house in which K lives is located exactly in between the houses with the people earning salaries of rupees 30,000 and 50,000. So if L is the person earning 50,000, then K is between P and L, or K is between P and L. So either the top arrangement or the reflection of that, the bottom arrangement. One of them is the arrangements, and the salaries are pretty well known by now. Now, K does not live in the yellow house, and the person living in the yellow and blue house do not earn the lowest salary. Lowest salary is 30. So this is not yellow and this is definitely not blue. We also know that L is also not living in the blue house. Now, what else do we know? We know that the person living in the red house earns more than the person living in the blue house. So, K is the highest earner. K definitely cannot be living in the blue house because the person earning red earns more than that. So, can we establish that it is S who is living in the blue house? Which means that K earning more than S should be living in the red house. And the colors left, yellow and green, P cannot live in yellow, so L has to be living in the yellow house, which means the only color left, green, has to belong to P. So now we have got all four. Only thing is arrangement, whether it is the top arrangement or bottom arrangement, that depends. But left to right or right to left, we have associated the colors and the salary figures. Did everybody get this one? Pakka? Online? Did everybody understand this particular set? Okay. So then the questions should be easy to solve. Right? Who lives in the red house? Pretty obvious. Okay. Which house is occupied by the person earning the highest salary? That is, K is the highest earner, so that is again red. And what is the salary earned by the person living in the green house? P is in the green house with the lowest salary of 30K. Chal. Try the next one now. Six people facing south, 6 people facing north. The important thing to remember is left and right क्या होता है.
Yeah, but how in circular manner or in the wrong manner?
If everybody is facing the same direction, what would that be? How can everybody in a circle be facing the same direction? So 2 rows. And in fact, literally say row 1 is that, row 2 is that. And then the above arrangement shows 12 people who are seated in 2 parallel rows. All the data is there on the screen. Getting it? Got it yet? Getting it? Not sure. You can easily check whether it satisfies all the conditions which are given.
I checked it was wrong.
Okay. The biggest problem here is understanding the left and right. If you are facing north, left and right is correct. But if you are facing south, you have to interchange them. Keep that in mind. Satisfying all the conditions. Done. Let's see then. Shall we take a look at it? Okay. The data says that there are 6 people A, B, C, D, E, F facing south, and again there are 6 people P, Q, R, S, T, U seated such that they are all facing north. So the first thing we need to keep in mind is if a person is facing south like this, then left and right need to be interchanged, and if a person is facing north, then left and right remain the same. So for A, B, C, D, E, F, left and right will be according to that, and for P, Q, R, S, T, U, left and right will be according to this. Now, the first clue says that Uma sits third to the right of Shruti. Now, because they are north facing, so wherever Shruti is sitting, 1, 2, 3, Uma is sitting third to the right of Shruti, and Shruti faces Faisal. So, if Faisal is sitting here, then again we have 4 people like this because they are all opposite to each other. And finally, Faisal does not sit at any of the extreme ends, which means there has to be one more person sitting on the other side because Faisal cannot be an extreme end. So 5 people I know, but I don't know where the 6th position should be. Okay. Now it says Dheeraj sits third to the right of Chandu, and Dheeraj and Chandu are south facing. So Chandu ka right hand side is this side. So 1, 2, 3. Dheeraj is third to the right of Chandu, and Rashi faces Chandu. So wherever Chandu is, the opposite side is Rashi, which means 4 people like this, and somehow I have to merge these 2 arrangements, but right now I don't know how to merge them. Now my next clue says that the one facing Ekansh sits third to the right of Purvi. So Purvi, 1, 2, 3, third to the right of Purvi, and the one facing Ekansh is this position. So again, Ekansh is third to the right of Purvi is something like this. Bhanu and Purvi do not sit at the extreme ends of the line. So Bhanu and Purvi, now I don't know where Bhanu is seated, but Purvi is also not at an extreme end, which means there is at least one more person to the left of Purvi. Now, Tina is not an immediate neighbor of Uma. So if this is Uma, then neither this position nor this position, if at all one exists here, can be filled by Tina. And Abhay is not an immediate neighbor of Chandu. So if this is Chandu, Abhay cannot be seated here. If there is a position here, Abhay cannot be seated here either. Now comes the tricky portion. We have got three distinct arrangements and I need to fill some of these positions, but I don't know exactly how do I merge all this, right? So max ये तो 4 वाले हैं, but this and this arrangement has 5. So let us see if I am able to combine them. Now dash p dash dash dash, तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे एक एक्स्ट्रा पोजीशन डालता हूँ, then dash p 3 dashes and p को 2 छोड़ के opposite is e, so p का 2 छोड़ के opposite of this becomes e. That means 6 people का arrangement should be something like this. Now I also know that d 2 places c and opposite is r. So if I place d here, 2 लोग छोड़ के c and opposite r, it is somewhat possible to place people like this. Now C का next position is not A, वो तो पक्का हो गया, right? So either I can place A here or I can place A here. I also know that Bhanu and Purvi are not sitting at the extreme ends, so this cannot be B, extreme end हो गया. So if this becomes B, then this particular position becomes A. T cannot be seated here, तो T को अगर मैं यहाँ पे डाल देता हूँ, then the person left is Q sitting here. Does this satisfy all my conditions? Let's quickly go through them one by one. Uma sits third to the right of Shruti. Is that satisfied? Shruti faces Faisal. Yes. Faisal not at an extreme end. Correct. Dheeraj third to the right of Chandu. Yes. Rashi facing Chandu. Yes. One facing Ekansh is third to the right of Purvi. Correct. Bhanu and Purvi not at the extreme ends. Correct. Tina not a neighbor of Uma. Correct. Abhay not an immediate neighbor of Chandu. So if all the conditions are satisfied, then this definitely is my arrangement. So on the top row D, B, F, C, E, A, and the bottom row T, P, S, R, Q, U. Those who got it, did you get this arrangement? You got something else? What arrangement did you get?
CBF.
C, B, F, D, E, A.
RPS TQU.
RPS TQU. Now the very first thing, Dheeraj sits third to the right of Chandu. Left and right में आपने confusion किया है यहाँ पे. Because they are facing south, उनका left right उल्टा होगा ना? वो लफड़ा है यहाँ पे. That's why that arrangement does not work. Somebody online also got the same arrangement, but again the problem is left right is a problem situation when people are facing south. So then does it match all other conditions? Uma sits third to the right of Shruti, okay. Shruti faces Faisal, Faisal not an extreme end, Dheeraj and Chandu to theek hai. One facing Ekansh, third to the right of Purvi, third to the right facing Ekansh. Tina is not a neighbor of Uma, theek hai. Abhay not a neighbor of चंदू, वो भी ठीक है, सब कुछ मैच होता है, बट लेफ्ट एंड राइट का कंडीशन नहीं मैच होता वहां पे. बट नाउ डिड एवरीबॉडी गेट दिस वन ऑनलाइन एज वेल? Did everybody online get this? Okay. So then answering the question should be pretty straightforward. Who faces Dheeraj? Tina. Who represents the people sitting at the extreme ends? So Tina and Abhay. How many persons between Rashi and Tina? 2. P and S are between Rashi and Tina. Who faces Kwambar? Ekansh. And which of the following is true regarding Bhanu? C. Banu sits fourth from the extreme left. Either way, Banu is fifth from the, even if you consider his own left, the fifth position, right? Not the fourth. So Dheeraj and Faisal are immediate neighbors of Banu. Pretty much clear. Okay. Try the next one. Getting it?
Do you just have to find the relation?
The order, the entire order, and as many relations between them, who's what. Because it's given Sunny's father, mother, and uncle. So who's the father, who's the mother, who's the uncle?
This legal statement is saying group has essentially two females.
Hmm.
The first one says Sunny's father, mother, and uncle were there.
So
There are two males and one female.
there are 6 people: Sunny, Lalita, Lavdeep, Anu, Dilip, Adityanath. उसमें से सनी के फादर मदर अंकल हैं, लेकिन 2 और लोग भी तो हैं. Getting it? Nope. Let's see. Okay. So it says that there are 6 people: Sunny, Lalita, Lavdeep, Anu, Dilip, Adityanath, all of them playing the game. And then it goes on to say that Sunny's father, mother, and uncle were in the group. So first of all, we have Sunny. So Sunny's father and mother and uncle, right? So one thing is for sure: mother is a female, father is a male, and uncle might either be father's brother or mother's brother. I don't know which one, but one of them. The group has exactly 2 females. Okay. At the end of the game, Lalita, who is Sunny's mother, so the female here is definitely Lalita. So Lalita, Sunny's mother, has more money than her husband. So Lalita has more money than her husband. I don't know who the husband is. At the end of the game, Anu had more money than Dilip. So Anu had more money than Dilip, but less than Adityanath. And at the end of the game, the niece of Dilip had the least money. Now whoever is Dilip's niece, which is a female, will have the least money. Now, at the end of the game, Sunny's father had more money than Adityanath. So Lalita's husband is Sunny's father, and he has more money than Adityanath. So Lalita, her husband, Adityanath, Anu, and Dilip, these are the people, and Dilip's niece has to be the lowest one. So Sunny and uncle, if Dilip has a niece, that it means that the uncle is Dilip, which means Sunny is the niece, making Sunny the female. And who else can it be? Right? Now, Sunny's father had more than Adityanath. So Adityanath is not Sunny's father. Dilip is not Sunny's father. Anu is not Sunny's father. The only person left is Lavdeep. So Lavdeep has to be Sunny's father. So that means Lalita's husband is Lavdeep, then Adityanath, then Anu, then Dilip. And the niece at the end is Sunny. So Sunny is the niece. Which means Sunny and Lalita are the 2 females. And these are the 4 people within the family. Now, did everybody get it?
I only missed it.
Which one?
I got it, but I didn't remember the logic.
I only missed Sunny. I got all of it.
Yeah. The one confusing thing is, you would also automatically assume that Lalita and Anu are the females. But nobody says that the name has to match the gender. और सन्नी अगर दियोल है तो सन्नी लियोनी भी है. So Sunny is a gender neutral name. Did everybody online get this as well? I hope everybody got this. So then the question should be pretty easy. The first one literally asks, who's the other female? It's actually Sunny. So none of these. Sunny's father is Lavdeep. And who won the game? Lalita. Okay. क्या हुआ? Difficult, easy, boring क्या है?
All,
How can something be difficult and easy at the same time?
yeah, like some are difficult.
Yeah. So unless you start doing it, you won't know the level, right? Done. This one's definitely not that difficult. Getting it? Sure, let's take a look. 4 people, experts in different languages, live in the same side of a street in 4 houses, each of a different color. And each person has a different favorite drink, right? So let's take a look at how exactly we can represent it. It says that the expert in English lives in the red house. The expert in French, I don't know the color, but definitely drinks green tea. Now the real clue which is going to help us with position is the third one. The expert in Hindi lives in the first house on the left. So we have got 4 houses. The first house from the left is the person who is the expert in Hindi. And in the second house from the right, they drink milk. So number 3 is the second house from the right, and that is a milk drinker. So definitely not French. French is green tea. Now, it says the Hindi expert lives adjacent to the blue house. So Hindi 1, the only place adjacent to the person in Hindi is number 2. So number 2 is blue house. Again, that is not English. Right? Now, it says the Spanish expert drinks juice. So if the Spanish expert drinks juice, the Spanish expert cannot be the one living in number 3 or 1. So it's either 2 or 4. And green tea is drunk in the blue house. So if green tea is drunk in the blue house, we already know that the person who's an expert in French is the person drinking green tea. And we also know that the Spanish expert drinks juice. So it has to be number 4, because number 3 is already milk. That means English has to be the person in number 3, making that the red house. Now, if the white house is to the right of the red house, then the white house is number 4 for the Spaniard, which means Coca-Cola in the yellow house has to be for Hindi, which is house number 1. That's it. So Hindi, Coca-Cola, yellow in the first to the left, then French, green tea, blue, English, milk and red. Finally, in the right one, Spanish, juice and white. So then answering the questions is pretty simple. Milk is drunk by English. The Hindi expert drinks Coca-Cola. And the color of the Hindi expert's house is yellow. Which of the following is not true? Right? You have to be careful in reading the equation. Not true. First, second and third is true. The French definitely doesn't live next to the Spanish expert. So fourth one. Chal. Last set. heads.
Heads. Directly.
It says that only the two heads were sitting at the opposite end of the rectangular table. So the head technically has to be the host and the hostess. Doesn't make sense for anything else. Getting it?
Yes.
Satisfies all the conditions. Shall we take a look then? It says that a leading newspaper decided to organize a discussion over tea, हिंदी में जिसको चाय पे चर्चा कहते हैं, and has invited a few of the prominent figures from the field of politics. Only the two heads, one male, one female, are sitting at the opposite ends of a rectangular table with 3 persons on each side. And the prerequisite for the seating arrangement was that each person must be seated such that at least on one side it has a person of the opposite sex. So if I'm a male, at least one female should be next to me, and vice versa. If I'm a female, at least one male should be next to me. So I cannot have 3 males or 3 females in a row. Now, based on all the given conditions, let's see how we can start arranging it. Right? I need to arrange 6 people. Okay, that's pathetic. I need to arrange 6 people around 8 people around a rectangle. So the host and hostess are at the 2 ends and 3 on each side. And we also know that if I have to go left, then I will follow this direction. For everybody, the left hand side will be according to the arrow at the bottom. Now, it says that Mr. Mansoor is opposite of Mrs. Savitri, who is not the hostess. And host and hostess are opposite. So if Savitri is not the hostess, Mansoor is also not the host. But I don't know where to place them. Mr. Ratanlal has a woman on his right and is sitting opposite of a woman. Again, I don't know where. Now, Miss Monica is sitting to the hostess's right. So if I say that, let us assume that this is the side where the hostess is, then Monica is sitting to the right of the hostess, which means Monica's position is pretty much fixed. So Monica is a female and the hostess is a female. तो फीमेल के एक साइड फीमेल है तो दूसरे बाजू तो मेल होना ज़रूरी है. उसी तरह फीमेल के एक साइड फीमेल है तो दूसरी बाजू मेल का होना ज़रूरी है. Now, Monica is sitting to the hostess right next to Mr. Dhirulal. So Dhirulal's position is also pretty much fixed here. Now, one person is seated between Mrs. Mahima and Miss Urshita, who is not the hostess. Now, if Urshita is not the hostess, Monica is not the hostess, and Savitri is also not the hostess, that means Mahima definitely has to be the hostess. So if Mahima is one of the hostesses and one person is between Mahima and Urshita, then Urshita's position is pretty much fixed because दूसरे side पे तो Dhirulal already है. So if Urshita's position is fixed, then this has to be a female. Correct? Now, going back to the clues, if I see this, it says Ratanlal has a woman on his right and is sitting opposite to a woman. So, इस पोजीशन के अंदर now अगर मैं रतनलाल को यहाँ पे प्लेस कर दूं, there is a woman to the right and opposite to a woman, so it's quite possible to place Ratanlal in this position, right? So I have got Dhirulal, I have got Ratanlal, 2 males, and I have got 3 females. Now it is saying Mr. Mansoor is opposite. Now this position is a male. ये fixed है because ये host है, host and hostess, तो ये तो male है. Now in this position, if I put a male, तो मेल के दोनों साइड मेल नहीं हो सकते. दैट मीन्स दिस पर्सन हैज टू बी अ फीमेल एंड ऑलरेडी 3 females, मोनिका, महिमा एंड उर्शिता आर प्लेस्ड. सो द ओनली फीमेल लेफ्ट, सावित्री, हैज टू बी इन दिस पोजिशन. एंड इट इज सेड दैट मंसूर इज ऑपोजिट ऑफ सावित्री. सो सावित्री अगर मिल गई तो मंसूर भी मिल गया. एंड इफ मंसूर इज डन, 3 men are already placed. The only other person left is Jagendra. So Jagendra has to be the last male who also happens to be the host. So then this is my position, starting with extreme left Jagendra, clockwise Savitri, Dhirulal, Monica, Mahima, Ratanlal, Urshita and Mansoor. That's it. Will you be able to answer any question based on this now? Right? Once the arrangement is known, then answering the questions is pretty much easy. Any doubts in this particular set? Yes.
You can't place Ratanlal as a host then.
Okay, let's take a look at your arrangement. पूरा arrangement मेरे को बताना.
So that is wrong, but
Let's say Ratanlal here. फिर
Mansoor,
यहाँ पे मंसूर. Okay.
Dhirulal.
पंगा हो गया ना, 3 मेल्स एक साथ नहीं हो सकते. Every person must have at least one person of the opposite gender next to him. तो मंसूर के बाजू में धीरूलाल, रतनलाल दोनों ही मेल आ गए. So it violates my first condition, prerequisite, at least one person of the opposite gender. Correct? Did everybody online get this as well? Any doubt in this set? That's it. So we come to the end of the session, right? We did quite a few puzzles today. Do keep practicing. There are a couple of exercises of analytical reasoning in the material as well, which you should be doing pretty easy questions in that, right? Chalo, we meet again. I mean, whatever class is there tomorrow, we meet again at the same time. If any doubts, you can hang around online. Otherwise, we are done for the day. You may exit the session.